Hi, I'm Dar with the Healy Technology Report, and today we're going to have a look at a Yeastar S-Series phone system. Now, this is the S20, the smallest of the bunch, and what we are going to do is have a look at conference bridges and setting up a pre-muted conference bridge. So by default, when you are running a conference and people join, they're going to be unmuted and they can hear anything. Now, we use a conference bridge in churches. So what that means is we feed the audio in, and then people can join a conference bridge and listen to the church. But we don't want to let one person hear the other person. They might be talking in the background or whatever, and we really just want to hear the church. So we're going to set this up. But before we do, check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Healy Canada, and please subscribe. That means that when we add more videos, you're automatically notified, and we got tremendous amount of great stuff on there. Now, the other thing I want to mention is our online store. Now, we've got great special pricing. If you're a colony or other things, you do need to check in with us so that we can reveal that special pricing. But there's great sales items and things. Buyphonesonline.ca. Please check us out. Now, without further ado, let's jump in and see how this is done. Okay, so here we have our S50, and what we're going to do is we first need to log in with SSH, but there's another thing we need to do. So the conference group that we're setting up already needs to be created. So we're going to go in there and have a look. So we're going to find that under Call Features. And then there's our conference bridge, and we want to make all of the settings, because if we make settings in here afterwards, the settings, the old settings are going to be, or the override settings are going to be deleted. So we've got to make any of the settings that we want to make first. So, well, let's delete this existing one. Delete, yes, and we'll create a new conference. 6400, we're going to call this church. Oops, that's not the name. Here's where our name is. Church conference. No password. Sound prompt, we're not going to put that in. Moderate password, we're not going to do that. And then in this case here, our Fanville PA2 that we're using to bring audio in for the church is on extension 1004. So we're going to add that to be a moderator. And then I'm going to select, save, and apply. Now, we need to get in and with a tool called SSH, and that's a command line tool for Yeastar. So this is where things get complicated. So we need to go off to the web and download a tool called Putty if you don't already have that. You can have this first one, putty.org, isn't the official site. This one that starts with CHIARK.greenn.org happens to be the original site. It's a weird URL, but that's the guy that actually wrote it. So you want to download this, and then once we have it downloaded and installed, it looks like this. Now, I've got my settings already put in here. I'm using 192.168.5.50. That's the IP address of your S-Series, and then port 8022. So if I go to my S20 here, you can see my IP address 192.168.5.150. So we're going to connect in there, but before we do, we need to enable this, because this is disabled by default, and it should remain disabled. So after you do this, you should go in and turn off SSH again. So we're going to go in here, we're going to click on Settings and Security, and we're going to click on Service. And you'll notice here, enable SSH. So I'm going to disable that for a moment just to show you what happens when we enable it. And so I'm going to enable it now. Now, this is super important. There's a password that comes up here, and this password is what you get for logging into the system. It's going to be different than what you see up here, because this is randomly generated. So use that. Click OK. We're going to save and apply. And now we can use our putty tool. So I'm going to go back here to putty, and I'm going to open. So I get this black command screen-like window. And in a moment, there we go. Log in as support. Password is what we saw there in the window. Okay, so now I'm logged in. I have a command line. Now, we're going to go off to our Yeastar.ca website, configuring conference to mute all by default. There's a couple things I want to go in here. I need this URL. This is where the settings are now. Super important not to make any changes here. So I'm going to use a text editor called VI, and then the path of where this file is. And then you can see it here. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, but maybe not quite that big. Okay, like that. And we're going to search for that conference bridge that we just made. So if we go back here, of course, our conference bridge is 6400. There we go. So we're going to search for 6400, and we do that by hitting the / key and then type 6400. Okay, so there is our conference bridge, and what we need to do is copy this. Okay. I just want to make sure I've got the right one here. The meet me command is where I need to be. Let's see if there's another session. Conference. Okay, this is the section I need down here. So it's actually this MSN variable that we need to override. So I'm going to use my mouse, select this text. That's automatically going to put it on my clipboard. So if I brought open another, bring open here another notepad and paste it in there, you can see that I have this in here now. Now, we're going to exit out of this. We're going to do that by using : which is the 2 dots, and Q. And now we're back at the command line. And then we're going to create a new file, or if the file might exist, and then we're just adding to it. So you can see here from the instructions that we're changing the MSN to MMSN, and then we're going to save it to this location here. So MMSN. Now, case is vitally important here, so we don't want to mix up our uppercase and lowercase characters. Okay, aside from that hang up, everything is good. We are going to copy this now, and we're going to go back into putty. I'm going to right click to paste and then press enter, and this is a new file. It doesn't exist. It might exist on your system if you have other overrides or customizations, but in this case here it doesn't exist. So I'm going to take this now and then paste it in here. Okay, I did a bit of a I didn't do that quite right. So what I'm going to do is :Q and then the exclamation mark that exits the program, and then we're just going to go back in here one more time. Now I'm not in edit mode. That was my problem. So I need to press I for edit mode, and you can see there's an I that goes down here, and now I can add things into here. So what we're going to do is right click, and there we have the material. Go up to the top here. Let's just delete. Okay, and then we can go :X to save. escape to get out of insert mode, and then :X for command. And now we're back in command, and then we can look at it again and we can see that there is that file. Okay, so that is it. Control X, and we need to apply all or reboot the phone system now for this to take effect. There's no visual change within the user interface of the S series, but now this 6400 will be muted. Okay, that was how to set up a conference bridge in mute only. Now, you'll find more great videos on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/HeliaCanada, and please have a look at our online store as well at buyphonesonline.ca for the Yeastar S series phone system. We really find it's got some of the best value from small organizations all the way up to very large organizations of 500 phones. So check that out, Buy Phones Online. I'm Darzuk with the Helia Technology Report. Thanks for watching.